One thing queer, one thing queer, one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer.
Hello and welcome to One Thing Queer. My name's Jenny Baton and my pronouns are they, them.
And I'm Kelsey Wren, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hi, friend.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm delightful. It's so fucking hot.
It is really hot. But today was extra hot in the studio. You know why?
There's a fire sign.
Because we got two fire signs in the building. Bernie's back for another episode.
Hey! Wow, what an intro.
I'm screaming for the audience because to this day you are, I think, one of the top episodes on our listening scale.
Sure.
You're one of the fave episodes.
They really want you to talk about astrology.
Yes.
So you're all in luck today because that's what we're talking about.
Cool. All right.
We're shooting the shit astrology edition. Burning.
And we're all sugared up from all the snacks downstairs.
We went ham.
And cookies. Yeah.
We had a salad bar before.
It was not a salad bar. It was a snack bar.
You're right.
Salad bar? It's a salad bar if you would consider like hot Cheetos, Cheez-Its, and cookies a salad bar.
Definitely.
Our kind of salad
This
bar.
is why I struggle with my weight. I can't differentiate the two.
Same girl. Same girl. We have a salad bar all the time then in that case.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So how was your week, Jenny?
It's been good.
Yeah.
Busy, but good. It was my brother's birthday on Saturday, so we did like a little
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to him. How old is he?
25.
Oh, he's a quarter.
I'm like, you're in your mid-20s now, because he's always calling me old. But yeah, it was good. It's been a good week. Just been busy, but it was fun.
Did you guys go to Sizzler?
No, we did not. No salad bar at Sizzler.
That sounds awful right now.
I've always enjoyed Sizzler.
I know, but
with COVID
but with a buffet.
Oh, yeah.
No, thank you.
Like, all the COVID tongs.
Yes, disgusting.
Nah.
Single-use tongs.
I hated buffets before all that happened. I would never go to them.
I've always liked it.
I mean, sorry.
I put cottage cheese on my salad.
Yeah.
And peaches. It's delicious.
Okay.
But again, maybe this is why I struggle with my weight.
No.
You swear.
No.
It's good though. It's delicious.
So you have evolved in your astrology journey since I've met you. I do want to take like partial credit because I feel like before we started the podcast, like I was into astrology, and then I came into your house and then started talking about astrology, and then I just created this astrology.
monster?
Yes, definitely a lot of the credit there.
Yay!
Yeah. It's
And now
definitely-
you know way more than I do, so that's why you're here.
I don't think so.
I think so.
Maybe we're just it's like a Power Ranger team.
Okay.
Like we all
All
have
three
our
of
all
us?
little skills here.
All three of us, yeah, for sure.
Or a craft or a cult, whatever.
Yeah, whatever y'all want to call it.
yes, and yes. I'll take all that.
Yeah, it's been strange. Oh, it's been so much. It's been stuff I want to dry heave because I was like, why do I know this now? I can't stop thinking about this, but it's been awesome.
Do you think it's because of your Scorpio moon and like in discovering your Scorpio moon?
Fuck yes.
I think that's the real credit.
Yes, definitely. And I used to just waltz around, Sagittarius, out of my way, Sagittarius.
That's very Sagittarius.
Yeah, see?
Yep.
But then the other side that, people don't know about me, which Kelsey knows every day, and just the heaviness
every
and
day.
all the stress and all the deep breaths and all that. But yeah, it's been a journey.
Yeah.
It's been cool. But thank you for throwing enlightenment my way.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. I mean, all I did was just talk about what I liked, and it's funny to see how you got so into it.
Yeah,
Like, you have astrology.
I still think about that Reiki session that you did with me, and I'm like, what the hell was that? Like,
Yeah.
I was like tripping out. I was seeing stuff. I'm like, I was in a kind of in a funk,
Yeah.
so I'm eager to do it again sometime in the
Yeah.
future. But it was strange.
It was honestly, I think about that day or that night that I did Reiki on you, Kelsey, and Sandy. And I've done Reiki sessions since then, but those were probably some of the most powerful sessions I've had. And that was even before I became a Reiki master. Especially like the one I had with you. The one I had with you, I mean, all three of you, but like the fact that we saw the same things and
That was wild.
it was crazy. And then like I could feel so much of like what you were feeling during the session, and it was just pretty gnarly. And that's honestly, I feel like that night was why I decided to continue into doing Reiki, because I'm like, well, it's helping, people. So I'm really happy it helped.
Yeah, I still think about it. You know, it was a really, really interesting, cool experience.
Yeah, same.
I'm glad.
Same. I'm like, I need to do it again.
Yes, I'm so down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been cool. I've learned so much about astrology. I try to tone it down because I'm like need to focus on other things, or like even the garden at least. But I'm over thinking about like Aquarius moon, like Sagittarius moon, like what else? I'm like, God, get your head out of the stars.
No, I think it's a great thing, because I had a client yesterday and she's a psychologist, and I was talking about how important it is to like do those like tests, like personality tests and like astrology, because it creates a self-awareness for yourself, and then also like being aware of how others are and how their behaviors and like the meaning behind it all. I think that's beneficial.
Yeah, I've definitely been looking a lot more inward lately, and I've just it's definitely it really highlights everything a lot of my personality traits, and which I didn't know, came with a term like Scorpio moon. We went to dinner yesterday, and Scorpio moons, they pick up energies, personalities. They see people's eyebrows move and their smiles, this and how they shift their weight, blah blah, and they just notice everything in the room. We go to dinner, and there's two hostess in the front, and they're arguing about something. She's getting angry, this and that. And I'm just picking up on this, watching how she's standing, how she's clenching her fists, how she's like, her brows moving. We go sit down. There's all this stuff going on around me. I'm starting to pick up this whole story, what's happening at this restaurant, and who's in charge, why they're mad, who's on whose side, and this and that, and where that guy is that they're pissed at. He's there, and this and that. And I'm seeing this whole story, and then Kelsey's like, what are you doing? Like, I'm like, hold on, I'm going to text you. And then I'm just texting. She's like waiting. I just show her the paragraph, and she's like, "Oh my God! Like, are we in trouble?"
Yeah, I'm like, what's happening?
like we're safe. But I just sent her like, "Oh, he said, she said, and he's mad and that blah blah and this." And
He's like, "Did you see that?" I'm like, "No." I'm like eating my steak. No, I didn't see any of that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even stuff like that, like I didn't know that was one of the traits, but dear God, it's something I deal with all the time, and I've learned lately how to tone it down, but I can't really turn it off. I have to like just really like close my eyes just to not even notice people and what their intentions are. It's really hard to turn it off, but I've kind of toned it down a bit. But even stuff like that, we're just going to dinner. I'm just over here like watching their story, and it's just like, oh, come on, just eat your free bread.
Yeah. I think water signs tend to be like very intuitive and like very aware, hyper aware of like feelings and emotions that from like the outside. So I think that makes sense.
Yeah, it's infiltrated everything.
I was telling Kelsey earlier in the week that like when I was younger, I don't think I felt like I didn't have any of these gifts. Like I didn't know how to use them. I was just like, I don't know, child, arrogant, just emotional. But like I was just like flat emotional. I didn't know what to do with it. But now it's really, really fucking different.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that a lot too, if you don't mind me saying that. You were talking about like how you weren't sure if you were like a Scorpio moon as a kid kind of, but like you were very emotional as a kid, but your emotion came out more as anger.
Yeah.
And a lot of people forget that anger is an emotion.
Yep.
And so you were very emotional because you were very angry.
Yeah.
So, but I think that still came out in the evolution is you're still emotional, but it's more some healthy emotions, or you can recognize when those triggered emotions happen, and you can regulate them now.
Yeah.
I think.
For the most part, yes. Regulate.
We're all still trying.
Yeah, we're all still trying. Another weird thing that's been happening that I've been noticing that I've like, okay, this is freaking real. I was talking to Kelsey about it yesterday. I think the energy in the air, the energy of the earth, the energy of the day, the clouds, the sky, the trees, the wind. It's like one of those days you wake up, I'm like, why does it feel like it's upside down? Why does it feel like we're backwards? Why do I feel like I'm out an hour late when I'm not? Like something's wrong. You just keep looking around the room like you know it's going to be a bad day.
Yeah.
And you can't surpass the day. You just kind of have to like take the bullshit of the day. It's a weird feeling. And I've tried to explain it to a few people. And it's just like, you don't feel that? And they're like, what are you talking about?
No, yeah, I totally.
It's just like it's upside down. Like even the drive home, like you don't like don't feel the sky. It just feels heavier. Like it's upside down. Like I feel like I can't even drive as fast as I want to. And like everything's at a different pace upside down or has a different pattern. It's very strange. I haven't felt that in a while. And I'm like, and I've been having a lot of good days, but it's been interesting. Even like what was it? Few months ago was Mercury retrograde, and that was fucking hell.
Yeah, that was heavy.
Like,
Yes.
like
Yes,
just,
it was.
just stuff like that.
And then
I've
cancel
been
season
picking
happened.
up on a lot, and it's just been a trip.
Yeah. Have you been feeling it lately? I feel like the past few days, I know Jupiter's in retrograde.
It's Kelsey.
No. It's
No, like
No,
Kelsey's.
I'm the one that's feeling it.
Yeah.
It's
I'm feeling
coming
it
out.
too.
Well, like between us, like
Oh.
he's okay, I think.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
me that's like, because like we had a conversation like that I was saying, because I worked a lot this week, so I was like, I didn't have enough energy to keep my guards up, and like I was like pretty much like gonna cry at a dime at every moment for like a week.
Yeah.
And like all that came up, and that doesn't really happen to me.
especially after our periods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was a little emotional during, but it was after that that I started to be even more emotional, and just like all these things came up. And that's kind of what we were talking about, being disconnected from like the waves of the earth and like all that. I was like, I don't feel anything. Like my intuition's gone right now. Like the walls are down, but like I'm super tender right now. And like that's not normally how I operate,
that
you know?
doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So like the Jupiter is like really, I don't know if that's what it is, but it feels like it.
Yeah, something's been going up with you lately. Like it's been. Yeah,
It's been rough.
It's been rough, but I've been pretty calm. But you've been pretty shook up.
That's exactly a great way to put it.
Yeah, even at dinner, we had
Yeah.
a big talk, but it was strange because even something strange happened when we were talking, and then I was listening, and then I finally put in my 2 cents, and then I started like shaking. It was weird, and I didn't know what it was, and there was no reason for me to be nervous or scared or this, but I started like. I couldn't my hands were rattling on the table. We're just eating dinner and like eating our fucking dope bread. But where did we go? Outback. We went to
Yeah.
Outback. It was dope.
It was dope.
But I was just shaking on the table. I didn't know what was happening. I'm like, you look at me right now. Like I was just like, I was tripping out. I'm like, this is weird. And so we kind of just sat there, wait for me to stop, chattering. It was strange.
It was like you were freezing,
Yeah.
but it wasn't cold.
Wow.
But I don't know what it was, but one of the last things I was telling Kelsey was like, I think you're about to evolve right now. You're about to like gain, something's going to happen to you, but there's even things throughout the day where she can like manifest or talk or like you have this sense of communication that's on a different level than people, not just like your physical voice, but
Yeah.
Thanks.
like you can read the communication in the air. It's strange.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm just looking at the drama at Outback, like, oh my god, did you see this girl? She is fucking pissed, and you're like communicating
Yeah.
the air.
The last few days definitely feels different. It's been a long time since I've been like super like raw or like tender, I guess. Or like every topic makes me want to cry, and that doesn't happen. Like that's not how I operate.
Maybe it did happen, and that's you got like You got slapped with the
with emotions.
Yeah.
no, what's the word? You get slapped with like a new power, like ability, like
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, so you're tender, you're raw.
You're powering up.
Where you got your shot is still tender, you know.
Yeah.
Great.
You're powering up. Yeah, because it's always like roughest before the storm, like or during the storm, or whatever the saying is.
Yeah.
But like, I do find that whenever it's like one thing after another, it's because you're about to level up.
That's what it feels like right now. It feels like everything, like one thing after like. I cried like last week also with because the air conditioner went out for a night, like, and like I don't like cry that easily, like, and it was like I've cried like 3 times in the last 2 weeks, which that doesn't happen.
Yeah, you get more. You get angry faster than you start to cry.
Yeah, and then I would just like cry. But then he was like, "It's okay." On the way home, he's like, "It's okay to have emotions." I'm like, "This sucks." I'm like, "I don't want these." I know.
Come on.
It's just so because like I don't want to deal with me when I'm like this. Like it's like I'm like
that doesn't mean other people don't want to deal with you.
I know that, and
But we get excited.
I know
We're like, ooh.
because you guys don't see it that much, so it's
Yeah.
like it's a whole new, I guess, animal. I guess I don't know. Anyways,
I'm making my part-time job.
yes,
Make me cry.
you do.
What's make her cry?
Yes,
But like happy cry.
Yeah, of course.
yeah, you're very good at it, and it's stop it.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of been what's going on lately, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know. But hopefully it's what is it? Oh, that's what you're saying, that it's darkest before the dawn.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's what
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Huh.
But
I
I was
always
saying
know what I'm saying.
Yeah, like you know all the sayings. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Gemini.
Yeah,
We're like slogan machines.
I'm the wrong slogan machine. I'll try to think of examples of everything I've said wrong of like slogans or
Same.
sayings. Like
Same.
I always have them wrong.
We just want to blurt it out so eagerly.
It's very fire
It's
side
our
of you.
fire side.
I've always say, "What's the saying again? What? How does it go?" What's
And I
the-"
know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. But
They could have used you in the Goonies or something. You would have
really. Oh yeah, totally could have used me. Anyways. But we were talking about how Zodiac infiltrates everything. So we were watching like SummerSlam, the WWE SummerSlam. And so apparently like Logan Paul is now a wrestler on there. Like,
what the fuck?
right?
Oh my god.
Right?
And I'm not to interrupt you, but I'm not proud to say that we share a big 3.
Exactly. So we were looking it up, and we were like, because that's what we do now is we see somebody on TV, we're like, what are their signs? And we look it up. So we did it with all the wrestlers.
Yeah.
And we saw Logan Paul's. We're like, oh my god, he's got the same sign as Jay.
Yeah, that's an intense chart he
It
has.
is.
But tell me about the rest.
What was
I was
it?
gonna pull it up. Let me pull it
Okay,
up.
well, he was Aries Sun, Moon, Cap Rising.
Yes, which is mine.
Exactly. And then he has a Leo Mars.
Okay.
And again, the Mars sign is how you react to things, your sexuality,
Your aggression.
Your aggression. So he has Aries, and to lead him into all that madness, he has a Leo. Which is like not shy to leading into
Yeah.
madness. I'm like, it would be this guy.
That's where my Mars saves me because mine's Cancer. So it's like my Aries, Moon, and Sun are like, "Rah!" And then when I really, really want to like do something evil, my Cancer's like, no, it's okay. Just dwell about it and cry,
But
get
it-
mad and cry.
Yeah, but his Leo gives him like no inhibitions about it. Like he's like, feel all of this because I'm mad. Like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, but so now we look at all of our favorite wrestlers and what are their charts, what are their signs, all the actors, actresses. We just been going through everybody, and we even thought about it today. Like, what about our old friends?
Yeah.
What about even exes? What were their signs?
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit, but that's a scary, heavy topic.
Yeah, I mean that's like a wormhole you could go under and
Oh,
like,
yeah.
kind of understand. I actually looked up my parents' birth charts, and they're divorced, and they did not have a good relationship. And my mom's a Libra sun, my dad's a Virgo sun, but they both have the same Mars and Venus. So one thing I noticed about them was that they both trigger each other so much. So I'm like, there has to be a reason why. Because usually what triggers you are things that you don't like about yourself. So my mom and my dad's Mars are in Scorpio and their Venuses are in Libra. So like the way they love and the way they hate is absolutely the same.
Who
And their Mars Scorpio is
if they're mad, who folds 1st?
Neither one of them.
their Mars Scorpio is definitely like you were saying, the Mars is like your action. Also, it's like how you take action, like in sex, in violence, like all that. And like the Scorpio is like always, we like to call it like a low boil. They're always at a low boil.
Yeah.
Like, so it's very easy to heat them all the way up.
Yeah.
And it's like they're always halfway there almost.
Yeah.
I heard your Mars sign was also put as your subconscious sun sign.
Oh.
Interesting.
I was like, oh, that's a good way to put it.
That makes
It's
sense.
like it acts behind the curtains, like your subconscious sun.
I'm such a Cancer in the sense of like my sadness.
So this is Logan Paul's. So he was the Aries sun and moon. And like we were saying, so the Mars, he's got a Leo Mars. So yours is Cancer. So you're like corked. And he doesn't have a cork. So
Yeah.
all of that, like every, I don't know, because sometimes, no offense, sometimes Aries are big babies. But
Oh, yeah.
He's like
first
a
one to-
big baby, but he's got the strength behind it to do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like terrifying.
And
Plus,
he's sensitive too, because
Yeah.
he has a Pisces Mercury and a Pisces Venus.
yes. So he's like emotional
Yeah.
about it also.
Pisces Mercury, I was reading about it maybe a month ago. It was saying that you can't bullshit them. They kind of read your mood, so you can't really lie to them. Which is strange. It says that they kind of have like a calming tone of talking, which I don't think maybe he does when he's not entertaining the world.
Yeah.
Entertaining is a strong word. We are not Logan Paul fans, by the way. He's a
never
he's a garbage human. It's just he's actually a really good wrestler. Though.
Yeah, which was strange.
I know, it
He's
was awful.
Super athletic. There's all these wrestlers that have been there for years, and he came in, and everyone's like, "Boo, this guy!" Like, you're a scrub from YouTube, and this guy blew everybody out.
He blew our minds.
Yeah,
We're like, wow.
He was super athletic. He's flipping and throwing punches and stuff. It was great. It was a great show.
But that doesn't make him less of a garbage human.
Yeah.
So still a garbage human.
I'm still very not proud that we share a big three. I'm like very ashamed of that, but I promise I'm not like him.
You are not.
And he's a Pisces Venus.
Okay.
So Pisces Venus. I know.
Well,
I
explain
think
what the Venus.
Pisces Venus is what you love in the world, how you love, what you love, how you spend your money, what you think is attractive, what you like to, what grabs your attention. So your love life, what you like to buy, what you like to wear, what grabs your attention, and how you deal with love. And I've always known Pisces Venus is to be a martyr for love, and they will go above and beyond for their partner in the relationship. They'll lay in the road for their partner, which is cool, but
Not with his combination.
Yeah.
He sounds obsessive.
Yeah. That's what I was saying is because if you look at his eyes when he's like on TV, obviously he's playing a character, but if you look at his face, you're like, he looks like, this is the most awful thing to say, but like, dude, you look like you would kill your girlfriend. Like, you look insane. You look like a psychopath.
he would kill her out of love.
Yes. Yes.
of the
He
Pisces.
would kill her so nobody else could have her. That's what it feels like. Like, allegedly, we are not, no slander. I don't want to get sued.
Allegedly.
Alleged for entertainment purposes only. But yeah, but that's what his face looks like.
Yeah.
He looks
Wow.
terrifying.
Yeah, and the Mars Leo.
It's unsafe.
What's the Mars?
Your aggression, sexuality.
Oh, yeah.
Subconscious sun. Your dad, Kelsey's dad, is a Mars Leo. Someone at work that I know is a Mars Leo. They're very not shy to get involved in anger, to get into a conflict very easily. They are not shy.
I think they're boastful about how they express.
That's a great way to put it. See these words. Where do you get these words?
I read.
Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Encyclopedia.
Oh, we can talk about that in the Mercury in a second. But they're very boastful because Leos are boastful. Like they're very, I'm the best, I'm the shit. So he's very boastful about his anger. Like, oh, I'd take that person down. I'd step in. I'd do something about it. That's how it is. Like, and they'll usually back it up. Like, which is terrifying. But yeah.
Man, he's a big dude. What was he? 6'2"?
Yeah, he's 6'2".
That's
Huge.
scary.
I know. That's what I'm saying is he's a big ass baby and he can do something about it. Like and the look on his face says he will do something about it. Like,
Yeah, and it's funny because the
terrifying.
way he was wrestling is like, okay, remember, you know,
like-
you're supposed to be pulling your punches a little bit, like hold back. Like
Oh.
he was swinging at this other guy, like,
Yeah.
dude, there's a script.
Yeah.
like follow the script.
Like you even see like in wrestling, if another competitor does something wrong, like they miss a hit or they hit too hard, the one who got hit will give them a receipt, which basically they'll like hit them back purposely and hurt them purposely to show
to like knock them out of their like you know
to
their
show them,
momentum.
like-
Dude, slow down.
Yeah,
Like
it's called a receipt. So they'll like tell them like it's basically to show them in front of the crowd like you're messing around too much or like you're being too like hurtful. You gotta like tone it back, like get back into like the groove basically. And we saw that happen. That like the other wrestler gave him a receipt
Yeah.
because he was going too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you could see like usually also like surprise wrestling's fake. So when they kick or something, they like hit their leg, so it makes a big slap sound. He
Yeah.
was not hitting his leg. Those slaps were his actual feet against the other competitor's like arm or shoulder.
yeah.
Wow.
So he
Welcome
was-
to One Thing Queer. We talk about wrestling and astrology.
Hold on. Welcome.
Oh my
Welcome
god.
to One Thing Queer.
I don't want to talk the entire time about Logan Paul also, by the way. But that was just like a good way to show how it infiltrates freaking everything. But we could get into Mercury's too. Like you were saying, my big words. I have a Capricorn Mercury.
Yes.
So what's Mercury?
Mercury is how you process information, how you speak, how your brain works, you know, how you talk. It's everything. And I was saying earlier that fire sign and a Mercury, it seems like it's not really the best because it just like blurs.
Great.
Yeah.
I just blurb
Yes,
everything.
same.
I have word vomit.
Yeah. I usually talk before I think.
Me too.
Usually.
Is your Mercury? a fi-
Sag Mercury.
Oh shit.
fire
Yeah,
sign.
and you're
So, you
and
know.
Yeah, I know. Like I'll end up like shoot the whole thing with the pizza and the pineapple. Like I was supposed to I end up at Rite Aid, like, oh, I'm gonna go get pizza. I go to Rite Aid, like, okay, I'll just drive back. And I'm like, oh, I'll figure it out. I'll get something. A double pineapple here, and our guests hate pineapple. I'm like,
It's all good. It's all good.
like
I was like, let's wait and see what they like to eat,
Oh, yeah.
and then we'll like let me find out what they like because I know you don't like pineapple, and I just slipped my mind, I guess, but like I didn't know about Melissa also, so but I was like whatever, and then when Melissa opened, I was like, they both have pineapple. I was like, oh crap.
yeah, I'm usually always easygoing, but usually I'm wrong too.
Same.
Yeah.
I mean, Aries are already impulsive, and then my Mercury is an Aries, so I'm
Yeah.
impulsive with like the words I speak, and that gets me into trouble sometimes.
I was thinking about it earlier too. That you know, it's just it's like let's do it, let's go. No detail, let's just go. Let's just go here, let's go there, let's buy this, let's buy that.
Oh, yeah.
And then Kelsey needs details, like
Yeah.
Need 'em.
you know how much, where at, when,
Yeah.
what time, and I'm like, who cares?
we went to Best Buy. 'cause
Oh yeah.
I lost the SD card, so we had to go buy a new SD card to record the podcast. And I was like, what else do I need?
Yeah.
And Kelsey's like, nothing. Come on, let's go. And I'm like, but my Gemini, my Venus and Gemini. I'm
Yeah.
like, what else could
Jenny wanted to look around. I'm like, we only needed this. Let's go.
I'm like, what else could I buy?
I was like, no, come on.
And like even your mom, where I think you were talking about how like she needs all the detail.
Yes.
Like when,
Oh,
where,
stories,
what time
yeah.
for dinner, this and that. Same thing with you.
I do.
And then for my family, it's
Oh.
just like I'll call you the day of.
I love them, but it's like an hour before, like, hey, we're having a big old party. And it's like, what?
I even told my dad earlier. I was like, just call me then. Like, let me know when he's in. Like, let me know when he's there having a beer, and I'll stop by. Like,
I could never.
No detail.
I could never.
Like, we'll figure it out.
I could never. I just can't work that way.
I almost have no headaches. You.
I have a headache all the time.
You have triple them.
But I think that's the Gemini moon. That's the like catastrophizing in my head where I'm like, if I don't plan this, then this is gonna get missed, and then we're gonna miss this, and then it's gonna make me miss this, which is gonna then make this happen. That's like my constant train of thought, and I have a headache all the time.
I think it was we were watching videos on YouTube, and it was saying that Geminis have all the details, but they can't start. They can't
We don't
put
have
the
the big
details into the works and the function. But like Sagittarius or like fire sign, they'll just go with it. Like, let's go.
They have the big picture, but
Yeah.
no details.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They won't pack their bags right ever.
Oh my god. I mean, we were literally having this conversation too. I was
Yeah.
like I don't have no idea, like being self-employed, I have no idea how I managed to pay all of my things on time, but I do. And like it's scary because I'm self-employed and I'm like I have a lot of bills. Like I was telling you all the bills I have and I'm like and I don't know how I do it, but I end up doing it. And like I don't know how I do it. Like I don't keep track of how much money I make. I literally don't. Like because I make different amounts every week. So like I have not like I just don't manage that.
I thought about that too. Like, I don't check my bank account that often.
Yeah.
Do you,
Oh, all the time.
I almost
Multiple times a day.
no, I probably like once every 13 days, maybe.
And I have a setup in my calendar, like what bills to pay when. Like,
Nah. I just have this number in my head. I think I have this much. And I was like, yeah, let's go to Best Buy. I think I have this much.
Let's see.
but you're also like you said earlier, you're also often wrong.
Yes.
Self-awareness.
But that's,
mean,
that's
right?
why we work well together. Like, you have all the details and like,
But yeah, I have all the stress.
that's not what I said. You and your fancy words.
Stress.
You get yourself in trouble with your Mercury right now. that happens a lot, but it's funny.
But I've gotten really good at apologizing.
Yeah.
It's one of my skills.
That's good.
It's good, and you don't seem to make the same mistake twice, so
That's good.
commendable. Anyways.
This is an entertaining episode.
Oh my god, my cheeks hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what other. So we went through Venus, we went through Mercury, Mars, we went through Big Three. Do you want to go through your chart again, since now you know more about it, or do you not want to be that introspective in front of a lot of people?
No, that's fine. Let's do that.
The voices kill me.
It's like we have multiple people.
It sounds very terrible on the mic.
It does sound terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, well.
please stop doing it.
I can't help it. I have a Sagittarius Sun, Scorpio Moon, Sagittarius Mercury, Scorpio Venus, Aries Mars. And that makes a lot of sense.
So what do those like mean?
You just heard Sagittarius Mercury all right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Scorpio Venus, it's what makes me love deeply. It's what makes me hurt deeply. It's what makes me obsessive way more than I should. That's what usually gets me into trouble. And that's what makes me feel more than I should. What I wish I didn't care what he or she said, felt, looked like, but I do. And it's like you have a bigger glass of emotions. Well, it's to hold your emotions.
Yeah.
I also read that it kind of makes you seen too much in the room. You can't hide. I've always thought I can never hide in a room.
Everywhere we go, everyone stares at you.
If I wear all black, if I put my hoodie on, if I just try to wear mutable colors, I'm always, not in a narcissistic way, but like I'm always seen, noticed. I can't, like, my teachers always called on me. I'm always noticed in the line, like, if for the good reasons and the bad reasons. And it's just not infuriating, but it could get tricky at times, you know?
Everywhere we go, they notice you. And for me, I'm like, stop looking at us. Like, stop looking this way.
Yeah.
I find that happens to me too. It's always been that way. In school, they would always call on me, even if I sat in the back.
Yeah.
Like every time I walk into a room, like strangers, like if I'm walking down the street, strangers are always like, they always look at me, and when I was younger, it really bothered me because I was like very to myself. But I mean, now it doesn't. Well, it does bother me still, but I don't know. I've just gotten used to it. But that's interesting that you say that. I wonder why that is.
Well, that's one of the things that I read about it, but yeah, that's what makes things heavier. Makes me my Scorpio moon and my Scorpio Venus. It just makes it very hard.
It ties it together.
Yeah. And my Mars Aries, as Kelsey has a Mars Aries, we quickly get upset and we quickly forgive. So usually our arguments don't last that long.
They don't.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
That's why I love Aries.
But
Yeah.
I know that for both of us, we get heated quickly, and then we kind of like,
Yeah.
and like we like put out the fire because like it's us. So like, but if it was anybody else, I think it would like like anybody else, like acquaintances, it would just burn, and it's like, okay, I got to get this out, and I'm gonna rip you to shreds because you deserve it. But with us, it's like we like make sure it doesn't get to that point.
Yeah, but I like having it. It gives me like courage. It gives me confidence. I always read that Aries is the bravest sign of the zodiac. So I'm like, oh, I'm glad I get to have some of it. Oh, you're so cool with double Aries.
you know.
So I'm very grateful to have that because it can help spring me into action when I need to be. Unless there's like a lizard on my porch, I won't spring into action.
He's terrified of lizards.
So is my partner. My
I'm
partner
so fucking scared.
cannot stand moths or lizards.
Really?
Yeah, and they also have an Aries Mars.
Oh, okay.
There was a giant fucking lizard in my backyard last week. It was like as big as my shoe. I wear size 12. It was huge.
What?
He was terrified.
I was just taking Chevy out, and then I saw a tail. I'm like, dear God, there's a snake in the backyard. I'm like freaking out, and I grabbed Chevy real quick, and I was like, wait, like I see legs. I'm like, okay, that's still gross. So it's a big lizard. And then like I just called Kelsey. I'm like, stay inside. We might have to move. Like,
But they don't do anything.
I know.
but it wasn't moving. I was tripping out, and I was like trying to like go around it because it was kind of by my garden workbench, and I kind of like just threw Chevy in the glass door. Like, well, not like
Into the house.
into the house.
I'm sorry, I just like envisioned Chevy flying across.
I bowled her in. Like, boom.
That was a perfect example of your Sagittarius Mercury and my cat Mercury.
There you go.
Clearing it up.
Thank you, Earthy. But I was like, call your snake brother out here. I need his help.
Yeah, my brother loves snakes.
Yeah, like he's into the creepy crawlers, and I'm like, Brian, it's right there. Look at him, he's fucking gross. And I was like,
who cares?
I was like way on the other side of the backyard. I was like way out there. He's like standing next to it, and like, oh, that's gross. I think it's dead. I'm like, don't touch it. And he grabs it by the tail. I'm like, Brian, that's gross. I'm gonna throw up.
Was it dead?
Yeah, it was dead.
Oh my god.
So it was huge. Like I said, it was really long. And he's like, what do you want me to do with it? I'm like, just throw it over there. And he like throws it against the fence. I'm like, huh.
God.
And he was like barefoot. I was like, I wish I was in combat boots or something. I was in sandals. I'm like, this thing's gonna jump at my big toe.
Oh my god, dramatic. So
It
dramatic.
was so gross. Like,
Fire.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm always like, yeah, I think I've gotten past lizards and reptiles, but anytime I see one, I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I still fear them so much. The bravest sign of the zodiac, Mars Aries.
There you go.
You're just the Mars Aries.
But we're also babies.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Kelsey said.
Yeah.
I'm the first one to admit I'm a baby. I'm a baby, and my Mars I think makes me like a crybaby. And it's funny because my sister always tells me that when I was a baby, when I was an actual baby, I was always crying.
Really?
Always crying. Like if a fly flew by near me, I'd start crying. I'm not exaggerating. If I saw anybody wear all white, I thought it was a doctor because I would go to the hospital a lot as a kid. I would start crying if like we were in public and someone was wearing white. I thought it was a doctor.
That's pretty cute.
That's so sad. Oh.
Baby. Over here.
What other standout facts do you have about? I was gonna call it zodiology.
Zodiology.
I don't know why. My brain's starting to get fried.
Welcome to Zodiology.
Really? No more of the voice.
Wait, again.
Sounds so crispy.
No, again. Do it again.
Welcome to Zodiology.
Perfect.
You were saying something that you wanted to tell us when we were standing around in the kitchen, and I was like, "Save it."
I don't. That's not.
I know this never.
I can't save
I know,
anything.
I know.
So
I'm
at
gonna
work,
I'm gonna save that zodiology, by the way, and we're gonna use it.
Please do.
I
Please
think we're
do.
gonna end every episode with that.
Please do.
so even at work, everyone knows how forgetful I am. I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, wait, what? When did I agree to that? Like, are you kidding me, Bernie? And like, they have like a crowd. Like, yeah, you said that. I'm like, nah, that doesn't sound like me. So I write all my notes on my hand. I have 3 calendars in my office. Don't use any of them. I have like 4 notepads. Don't use any of them. I write all my notes on my hand. I'm like, oh, he's coming in at this time. They're leaving at that time. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I got to do this paperwork, blah. And I have like, I'm looking like Post Malone at the end of my shift because I'm like, what the hell's on my arm? I'm like, oh yeah, he's leaving.
You're saving trees. That's all I can say. Very
Wow.
eco-friendly.
He's gonna use that forever now, Jenny. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very. I've gotten really good at forgetting though. Like I know how forgetful. Even like when we like do our nighttime routine, I like use the restroom and then. But so she'll take Chevy upstairs and she doesn't have any more hands to grab her water.
I'd bring my water bottle with me.
But I always forget it if she leaves it on the island or on the table, so she has to leave it in my walkway as I'm like on like the kitchen floor or right in front.
So that way he'll grab it.
Or the bathroom door, like right there. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, oh yeah, I was supposed to bring that up. And this is like 3 minutes.
It's like when you throw like something. I forgot what it was. That
in
you
the
threw
garage?
In the garage, you're like, if I have to throw.
You
it.
threw your beanie somewhere, and I was like, better pick that up. You're gonna forget it. And you're like,
No,
I
put it right in front of the door because I was gonna hit it by accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I know what's up.
Yeah,
That's smart.
you are forgetful.
There's logic to it. I guess.
But I know that now. So when we talk about stuff and you're like, oh, like if we both talk at the same time, I'm like, you go first because you're gonna forget. I won't forget mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the time.
Thank goodness for auto pay because I probably have like repossessed cars and stuff. Like all my bills are like they're just going.
Very fire sign of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is not true. I remember my payments,
There you go.
and I always pay on time.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's that cap rising, but you also have a cap rising, so
It's my 3 cap placements.
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I think Bernie only has one.
I have 3.
I think I have like not a Jupiter, but the other one, but
Neptune?
I think so.
Okay.
I have more cap. I have a Jupiter Taurus, which I think
What's Jupiter?
Not Jupiter.
I read it once. It was talking about all I remember from my Jupiter Taurus is that said animals like me and I have good fortune when I'm a good person or like I'm generous.
Okay.
I have good fortune coming my way as long as I'm generous and animals like me. I'm like, that sounds right.
No.
Okay.
You're very generous.
I'm pretty generous.
very
I have really, really fucking good luck. Like my luck is through the roof. Like I don't even try anymore. I'm like, yeah, like not surprised.
Yeah, I don't know. There's when free stuff happens, I'm like, why? And you're like, wow, that really happened. Like, what are you surprised about? It happens all the time. It just is. It's your life.
You got good karma.
Yeah,
Because you are very generous. Both of you are very generous.
Wow.
I try. It's harder for me in the cap.
Yeah.
I'm like, but that's money. But I try. I only do it for certain people. That's what makes it work.
Y'all are generous with me.
Yes.
Because you always give me my diet, Dr. Pepper. I'm like, what was it called?
And snacks.
Even your fire
And my
sign, like
snacks.
I've gotten good to leave the snacks in your pathway, or like I'll open the bag of Cheetos and just like tilt it your direction.
Is it a fire sign thing? Snacking?
Well, if he leaves them in your path, you'll grab them.
If I open up
I'm like a little mouse.
Cancer mouse.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, one thing that kind of that's what's the word? You'll think about it.
You gotta say more words for me to understand.
Hold on, little lady. Like kind of opposes me, or like the opposite of the Scorpio moon for me has been Aquarius,
Okay.
because they're so detached.
Aquarius moons.
That's a big one.
Oh, or you mean Aquarius in general?
In general,
Okay.
for sure. But Aquarius moon is the most condensed, so where I'm like, this is kind of a problem for me because they're so detached from their emotions, it doesn't phase them. They can just forget about it. They still have emotions. They still can be uncomfortable, but they can forget about it like that. And it's very troubling because I don't forget shit about if you burn me, if you do something to me. I still hold grudges from elementary school. Like I'm just still holding shit like that. But Aquarius people, they're so airy and they're so like, no, phase me. Don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how?
But they do. That's the thing is like with Aquariuses is like they're one of the most like because they're a humanitarian sign. So they're very they're very emotional, but they block the emotions.
Yes, it's hella blocked.
Yeah, like they block their emotions and they try to detach from it, but it's kind of like a Scorpio moon in the sense that they just like will never let a soul know like what they're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But they do feel very intensely because they are the humanitarian sign.
When you said the word blocked, that's the word I was looking for. They can just shell up and it's just like, okay, I can't read you anymore. This is frustrating. Like, and all Aquarius signs, I'm like, okay, this is frustrating. Like, how can you just throw it away or shell it up? You know, just like,
They don't let it boil like Scorpio moons do.
people know when I'm in a mood. Hey.
You can't really read Aquarius.
Yeah.
No, it's
really-
frustrating. And they tend to be, in a good way, sometimes bad, very, very nosy.
Oh, yeah.
I think you were talking about they don't have the algorithm also. Like they don't, the Aquarius moon, like they're hard to figure out sometimes because you can't figure out why they do certain things.
Yeah, they're like always upside down people. Yeah, but they can communicate. They know what's up. They know what the goal is in the room. They're good people. I'm not saying like hate them, fuck them.
Oh my God. This
No,
voice.
this voice
I'm-
is gonna stay.
I'm definitely over this voice. This is what happens to. He does a lot of voices. There's a Western voice that happens from time to time.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's.
Do it.
No. You can do it for an example.
I'll
but
do it at work sometimes and they hate it.
He'll get stuck like that. And I'm like, real. It's like 3 days of this voice and I'm going to lose it. I can't.
It's just I heard it somewhere like apparently like that country voice little lady like that voice is supposed to be like the most charming voice like
It's really not.
but as long as it's just that slow deep country voice that apparently
Kelsey is not a
Yeah.
right now. If
Not.
y'all could see Kelsey right now.
Not. I'm not about it. It's really not a thing for me.
but I mean it's just like okay like
You're still trying to convince me, and
maybe I can like welcome to One Thing Queer we accept all people
no.
in all
Not
genders
to
and
be
races.
not to be stereotypical, but that accent when you say one thing queer is really true.
I know see like
Okay, let's get back to Aquarius.
I'm loving it.
I don't like it.
I like the audience. Welcome to the Kelsey and Bernie show.
I don't like it.
Oh man, but yeah, Aquarius are very, very upside down, tricky people, and just like they're hard to pin down. And
I was gonna say we should go through like the zodiac signs, and you can pick out like things you remember out of certain like Mercury, Venus, like things that you've learned. Because I know you don't like really know yet. Like all like how each sign performs in Venus, how each sign is in Mercury, but you do know some of them. So if we go through the zodiac chart, you can be like, oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
If you want.
I don't get it.
Basically, like you talk about the traits that you know of like any of the.
So we're
signs.
talking about Aquarius.
So we're gonna
Oh,
throw a
okay,
sign
that's
at
right.
you.
Because
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
you also know about Aquarius Venus, but I don't think you know much about Aquarius Mars. That's my point. Is like we'll go through the ones you do know because I know some people are like, oh, he didn't say mine.
Yeah,
They're gonna want to know.
You read my mind, friend. You,
all
read
right.
you read my mind, friend.
See, she's
We're literally the same person.
I can listen to
Listening
you. I can
someone.
listen to you both talk without you talking. But so you were going through Aquarius.
Yes.
We'll start there. So
Sure.
You were saying Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Venus, which I think you should talk about Aquarius Venus.
yeah, Aquarius Venus. They love the strange,
The oddballs.
the oddballs, the outcasts, the rogues, the loners. They like that. That's what they're into. They like having like an odd group, like a gang of misfits. I know Aquarius Mars. They're very hard. They spearhead the operations of the team a lot.
Okay.
They like to get involved. Like, no, that's not what you said. No, we're doing it this way. No, that's not what's going on. No, we're all going here. And it's like, okay, hold on. Like, no, we're all going. Like,
They don't care.
like it's very intense.
Okay.
Air sign and fiery Mars. It's a lot. Mercury, and I heard, like I was saying, to have any air sign in your Mercury chart, Mercury sign is good. Earth, awesome.
Fire.
Not good. Water is like, okay, don't stop talking poetry. Just tell me what's going on.
especially a Pisces.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about Pisces next, like just to go through the next one. We've talked about Pisces Mercury a lot, where they're very like almost flowery with their language. Like they're very like they almost speak in poems, and it's like very like alluring kind of, and that's how that's their like communication process is very like
Romantic.
kinda
Yeah. They're very romantic, and I was saying like they're the martyrs of like the earth for the animals, for the people, for humanity. They want all the good for all the living people and beings and stuff, and it's beautiful. They're a beautiful sign, but they can get, it seems like, a little carried away with how much they care. I don't think I know too much.
That's what I was saying. So I know you don't know some of them, but we can go through the ones you do know.
Yeah, Mercury, they have a passionate way of talking. You can't bullshit them.
Very intuitive.
Intuitive. Pisces, Venus, martyrs. They love deeply. They'll throw the weight in front of harm for you. Pisces, Mars, passive. They're very passive. They love gifts and generosity. You'll win them over if you give them gifts, generosity, or time.
Oh,
That's sweet.
we can go to Aries next, which we kind of already tapped on. Aries Mars and Aries Moons.
Aries Venus.
Oh, Aries Venus is
Aries
a good
Venus.
one. Do it.
I've had a lot of Aries Venus friends. I still do, because they're intense. They love fast. They fall out of love fast. They live in the moment, and they're intense people, and they're a hell of a good time. And they also think they're their shit. Usually they are. Usually.
I haven't met an Aries that is not. Well, actually, yeah, never mind.
Usually.
Scratch that. Edit that out.
Usually, but they're a lot of fun, and they're like a party and a person.
They like hyper fixate on their relationships when they're into them too, like or like friendships. Like
There you go.
a lot of my friends are Aries Venuses, and I could tell by like we'll hang out for a while, and then they'll hang out with somebody else for a while, and then like it's all about that one person for a while.
Yeah.
And then it dies, and then they circle back around.
Yeah. So Aries Venus, I think I have like 3 or 4 Aries Venus, like really, really close friends. Awesome people. Good time, fucking party, and they will back you the fuck up if
Ride or die.
Yeah, that's the word. Thank you, Jenny. they're ride or die for sure. Like, who's messing with you? Let's handle it. I'm like, wait. I just said they cut line. I don't need to break their kneecaps. Yeah, I also heard kneecaps are a privilege, not a right. So
What?
yeah, that's something I pick up at work. It's fine.
Interesting.
Jenny, edit that out.
But
What about Taurus? Or is that it?
well, Aries Mercury. You're the only Aries Mercury I know. Why don't you tell us?
What does Mercury mean again?
Like thought process, how you communicate.
I have word vomit.
Yeah.
For sure. Aries are very impulsive.
Yeah.
So I definitely blurb like things out loud without thinking, and it's never like meant to sabotage or like hurt anybody. It's just we're so honest, and I feel like I can't vibe with anyone who isn't because of my Mercury.
I forgot about that big term, honesty, Aries. And I heard even like Aries is like that little kid in the room, like, why is your tummy so big? I'm like, a lot of beer, kid,
Yeah.
or like, like they just don't know. They're just so honest, and they don't know why they're so honest. They just say it. They just do it.
We're the babies.
That's one of the first things you told me is that you're very blunt, and I was like, I like blunt. Say what you got. Like,
You don't like games.
I don't like games. I like
neither.
tell me exactly, and that's it. And I've heard that too. Like Capricorns, like we're so understanding that there's no need to lie to us. Like you could tell me, and I'm like, okay, fine. Like we're just so like that's what's frustrating about sometimes when people communicate. Like you don't bullshit me. Don't lie to me. I will understand the truth, whether it's something trivial or something serious. Like I will understand.
Yeah.
So you don't have to lie to me. Just tell me the truth. Anyways, I don't know. Taurus, go.
Taurus, I don't know too much. Oh, Taurus, I know Taurus Moon. I know Taurus Mars, and I don't think I know the rest. But Taurus Moon, very comfortable with who they are. Extremely comfortable. They almost have no emotion. Everyone else to them is like super emotional compared to them. They're like, why is everyone
I
so
think they're
emotional?
just stable in their emotions.
They're extremely stable.
They're very like fixed and grounding.
Yes, they're like, so if you're an extreme water sign and you need some grounding in your life, talk to a Taurus moon.
I think everybody needs a Taurus moon or sun in their life.
They're very bougie too. Like they're all about the senses. Like
Oh yeah, they
what they smell, what they eat,
Aesthetic.
what they see.
Oh, they
what
love food,
it's
beer,
quality. It's all
like
quality.
everything.
Yeah, and they like to look good too. I
Yeah.
feel like they like to dress well. I feel like I've never met a Taurus that looks rough. Like they're always put together. My partner's a Taurus.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, Exhibit A,
Yeah.
your partner.
Yeah.
Bougie earth sign.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then I know Taurus Mars of being pretty intense if they're tempered. They're pretty passive. They like to do things on their own term, on their own pace, on their own time. And if you tell them otherwise, there's a fucking problem. Like they'll get in your face, or they'll kick rocks, or they'll just, that's when you'll see a Taurus Mars. But they're pretty passive and easygoing until they're ticked off, and that's when you'll probably regret it.
Yeah. They tend to also be like a little stubborn too.
Yes.
Like once they set their mind to something, like they will like there's no like going you can't convince them otherwise.
Yeah.
That's just a Taurus
Yeah.
thing.
What do
I
you
don't know too much about Taurus Venus or Mercury. I think Taurus Mercury is just straightforward communication for the most part, but I don't know too much.
Cancer or Geminis? Don't forget the Geminis.
Yes.
Go Gemini, Gemini Venus. Go
Gemini Venus?
or whatever you want. Let's talk about Geminis.
I actually don't know too
I
much
know about Gemini
Yeah,
Venus.
I know
let's
you
talk
know
to the Gemini Venus.
Okay, so Gemini Venus, I'm a Gemini Venus, which can be like a little intense sometimes because we get bored really easily. We need to like keep being mentally stimulated, like in a relationship. Like a Venus is the way you love and how you want to be loved and whatnot. So like for me, my biggest turn on is like intellectual conversation and like mental stimulation of some sort. And like I can't be bored. I have to like always be doing something with my partner or like with it rules your friends too, right?
Yeah.
Like just in general, like I have to be stimulated and I have to be interested in whatever I'm doing with whoever it may be.
Oh, interesting is that it's like all your Aries is like, not bored, let's go. Blah. And it's like, I'm bored. I'm bored.
Yep.
That's me though. You've literally, what did you do the other day when you turned off the TV or you turned it pause and I didn't turn the TV back on and I was laying on the couch like, I'm so bored. I cannot sit still because I'm a Gemini moon. Like I'm the same thing. My brain always has to be going. That's why I have a lot of headaches. My brain has to be going. I literally play puzzle games on my phone while I'm watching TV. Like I could be listening to something, watching TV, and playing a puzzle game, and that's like enough stimulation. Like
My partner's a Gemini moon too.
yeah,
They're the same way.
I have to always be like, it has to be going. It has to, because the boredom is like, ugh,
Geminis don't like to be bored.
I just can't be, and I like to learn something. I know that there's a lot of times where if I'm in a funk for a few days, I think I've explained this before, that like I'll look back and like, oh, I didn't learn anything. That's why I'm in a funk, because I didn't like use my brain the last 3 days.
Yeah.
And I need to use my brain. I'm like a puzzle master.
Yeah, she can't sit in silence. And I've heard that too with Geminis. If you want to like, quote unquote, kill them off, put them in a room by themselves in silence.
Yeah.
I've heard it too. If you want to kill a Gemini, you take away their instruments for learning, and it's like, ugh.
It's funny because like my Gemini is in Venus, my partner's Gemini is in Venus as well, or Venus is in Gemini, and one of the things we love to do together is go to museums
Oh,
to learn.
that's cute.
So
Wow.
yeah, full circle.
Cool.
Cute. I love it. Anything else, you know? No Mars, Mercury. See, that's what I was saying. Is like some of them
I lost track. Where are we again?
Gemini.
Gemini. And Gemini Mars, they're vulgar.
Oh yeah,
So
they are.
they're vulgar.
They are.
They're vulgar. I know.
dirty
I know a
jokes.
few. Yeah, I know 3
I wish we
Gemini Mars. Tick them off, and they'll just say it.
Yeah.
And or
It's
like
very vulgar.
they're like road rage.
I like
There's just like there's like no need for it, but they're gonna say it like, "Move, bitch!" Like
Yeah.
like they just
And it's
go.
like, what are you like? Why would what? Calm down.
Yeah, they're like that type of intensity. But I mean,
I find myself being like, was that necessary? That's my
see,
reaction.
I love that. If
Yeah.
someone was doing that, I'd be like, yeah.
yeah.
My Aries moon and my Aries sun is like,
Yeah, they're vulgar. Where like they'll say like some weird shit, like "I'm gonna shit down your throat, move."
Fuck yeah. I love.
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is such an unpopular opinion because I feel like the two signs that get the most shit on is Scorpio and Gemini.
Yeah.
But I fucking love Gemini so much. Like, I love them so much. They're like one of my favorite signs. They're like top 5 for sure.
Yeah, they're intense in but Gemini's they're so good with thinking, and again, like having that air in your Mercury for Gemini, good luck trying to win a debate with them. I know Gemini Mercury, and it's just like, dude, like they're just
Quippy.
that's the word.
I think with everything too, you have to remember the Gemini's a twin. So literally in any placement that they're in, it's 2-on-1. So if you're fighting with the Gemini, it's 2-on-1.
I
at
just
all
had enough
times.
time to process what was said, and they already had a quip. I'm like, this is not fair. I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
Because I can't win this conversation. I want to hit you, but I can't do that. So I can't. I know I lost. I'm leaving.
Like my moon is already like one is talking to you and the other is like, all right, I got the next setup. Like they switch. Like I could feel it switch, and you've even noticed it. Like when I'll say something and then like my voice will change and say something else. Like
Yeah.
I wish I had a Gemini Mars. That sounds fun.
to you.
Yes.
I like how he went dead silent. But it was funny because, it's another story my cousin was actually telling me because I was telling her about being a Capricorn sun and a Gemini moon. And she was like, oh, that's hard. Like the Capricorn's need for perfection, but the Gemini's changing of what perfection means. I was like, that's like on the money. Like it changes so much. Because one day I could be like, everything needs to be spotless. And the other day, like another Gemini, well, my other Gemini will be like, nah, this is good enough. And then my Capricorn's like, cool, we reached perfection. Like, it's a lot. Anyways, Cancer sign,
Cancer moon.
Cancer Mars.
Yeah. Cancer moon is I think it's comfortable in that sign. It feels what it should feel at any given time.
It's in its home.
Yeah, it's in its home, and it knows it feels the changes of the world. It's very, very sensitive. Hopefully they don't have a Scorpio Mars or like a
Aries Mars.
or a Aries Mars. So they're very easy to take off, and they'll do something about it. But
I think also they were talking about the Cancer moon with your emotions. Like they'll change as often as the moon phases because that's what it's ruled by.
yeah, it's pretty magical. I've heard the Cancer and the Taurus. I've heard that a lot because they have extremely emotional and extremely grounded, and they need each other. I don't know, compassion or grounding.
Yeah.
Cancer Mercury. I don't know any Cancer Mercury stuff.
Mars, we talked about a little bit.
Cancer Venus. Oh yeah, Cancer Venus is the pouty baby, the emotional pouty baby that they'll give you a silent treatment. So they're like, "Come on, no, let's go." Like, fine. And
Yeah.
they're like, they'll give you the silent treatment. Like, no. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Cancer.
Because that's my rising is Cancer. Because I can feel it too where I'm like, fine, I guess I won't do this then.
Yeah. That's true.
Jeez.
I say that, that's what you say afterwards.
But Cancer Mars is not comfortable
No.
in Mars. It doesn't know how to do its job.
No.
Certain signs rule certain planets, and so they'll know how to do their job correctly. Cancer Mars doesn't know how to do its job correctly because your Mars is your aggression, your sex, and subconscious action. It doesn't. It's so conflicted because it's just like action, aggression, sex, and just like wait. I'm Bubbles from Powderpuff Girls. I don't know what to do. I'm nervous, and it's just like wait. But then it's like no. But your Mars is like aggression. Get into it. Do something, and you're like, oh.
Let me put a top of a corkscrew.
Yeah.
They're corked
So
up.
that's why we say they're corked. When like, oh, they're corked. That means, in our language, that means you have a Mars Cancer.
Leo.
But
Oh.
I've heard with the Mars Cancer is that they have a threshold. Once you get them over that threshold, it's game over.
And you're eager to see that.
I'm so eager, but
I don't want it.
I'm always impressed with people's aggression and anger. Like even when I meet people, I'm like, "What are you like when you're mad?"
Yeah. You're always asking people.
Like, what
that.
are you like when you're mad?
That's a Scorpio moon.
Because I'm just so interested. I never want it directed towards me or anyone else here, but I'm just so curious.
Yeah.
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 Leo.
Leo. Leo suns, that's where they belong. That's their home is the sun. The sun sign is ruled by Leo. You'll know a Leo when you see one because they'll tell you.
They'll tell you.
Oh my gosh, that's what we were talking about. I showed you that chart that like I forget which one is which. Leo's in exaltation, or Aries is in exaltation in the sun, and Leo, sorry, scratch that. That's what I was trying to tell you before, is that Aries is in exaltation in the sun and Leo is in its home in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So they're both very happy. Like Leos and Aries are the most happy to be Leos and Aries.
Mm-hmm.
And they will tell you all about it because they're so happy to be a Leo or an Aries.
They'll tell you, I'm an Aries.
Yes.
I'm Leo.
Yes, they will.
I know.
Nobody could, no, Scorpios don't come out and be like, well, I'm a Scorpio. Like, that's not what happens.
Scorpios don't believe in astrology.
Yes. Yeah, Leo, because they're so happy being in that sun sign.
Yeah.
They're so
Makes
happy for them.
sense.
Yeah, I know Leo moons that they're pretty aggressive. They're pretty intense, pretty bossy.
They're royalty.
And they're okay with like aggression and the thrill. Like, that's no problem for them.
Oh yeah.
Leo Mercury, not sure. Leo Venus, it's pretty loud. They'll just pretty much tell you, I'm in love with you. Always have been. Like, actually, you won't even get that far. Like, always has been. Like, you'll know. they'll
Make it known.
Yeah.
They'll make it known. They're pretty quick to act. Leo Mars, we were talking about earlier about they're so quick to get into an argument, fight, conflict. They're just like,
They're
dude.
boastful.
Yeah, boastful.
They have a lot of pride. So they're quick to get into it because they know in their minds, they'll win. Virgos. Do you know anything about Virgos?
Not really.
I know, right?
They're pretty. They're like the energetic Earth sign. They're just like always like, yeah, let's do it. I'm so smart. Let's get it done. Like, I'm so grounded, but I'm wrong.
But they're not.
Like they're moving too fast for their own Earth. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my dad's a Virgo, and I've been in a relationship with a Virgo, and like they are like probably the least grounded Earth sign in my opinion. As far as like usually Capricorn is a little bit more like at ease and like grounded and like, okay, this is how things are supposed to be and this and that. And then Tauruses are like just like relaxing, and Virgos like everything has to be perfect, and if it's not, it's like panic mode.
Yeah, they're
That's it too.
anxious. They're
They're
anxious
very
about it, and they're
anxious.
very self-conscious
Like
about it. And
Cap is like the insecure Earth, and like Virgo is the overconfident Earth sign.
I don't think so.
No.
I actually
Really?
think it's the opposite.
yeah, because we talked about this a while ago where we
Yeah.
talked about, like, I can't remember the Taurus one, but we talked about Virgo really cares if other people like them. Capricorns really care if they like them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you like me. I care if I like me.
Virgos are very insecure.
Yes, and Virgos are, but Capricorns are too, but it's in my own head. I'm like, everyone hates me for no reason. Like, it's in my own head. But I also don't care. It's because I don't like me at that moment.
Yeah. And you've said it before.
Yeah.
About Virgos, like they like to dish it out, but they can't take it.
Yes, they're like they get like, well, it's a terrible outdated term, but they get like butthurt about stuff. Like some of my brothers are Virgos, and the way that they communicate, like when we're like going at each other, they want to dish it out, and I'm like, you don't want to do that because I'm gonna dish it out too, and you're not gonna like it when I do it because I'm quippy, and if I need to be, I'll cut you where it's gonna hurt, and you're not gonna like it, like because you're like they kind of also like, well, fine then, like.
Yeah.
I don't want to play anymore. Once they lose, I don't want to play anymore. Always. That's always how it happens. They're very like, one of my other friends actually put it a good way that the Virgos are very jealous of Capricorns because Virgos want to do things perfect and Capricorns do things perfect. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot, because those particular brothers are actually like, a lot of times growing up, the jealousy was very real.
Yeah.
So
And Virgos tend to have a very high standard for themselves, and that's where the insecurity comes from. But they also expect people to have those same standards, and when people don't have those standards, that's when their anxiety and like they're like, no, it has to be like their controllingness is. I feel like we're shitting on Virgos. But I love Virgos, but it's just what I've noticed noticed from my experience in
Well, that's my experience too. With like the most experience I've had is with my brothers, and that's how our relationships go. Is they want to play, but when I play back, it's not okay anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you started it.
Yeah.
You know, I thought we were playing, and then all of a sudden somebody's feelings are hurt, and now I'm in trouble. Like, I thought we were playing.
They're way more emotional than Capricorns.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think so. Yeah. I don't mean to shit on Virgos. It just that's my experience with them. Is that
I think I only know Mars Virgo is that they're really hard workers, and they love their patterns and their pace, and they're always willing to like, you know, finish the job. Like,
Yeah, they're very hardworking, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. How we described it is like Tauruses are gonna make you like them, and Virgos are scared they don't like them, and Capricorns are scared that they don't like themselves. Like, we talked about it last time, I think. Anyways, Libras.
I heard Libras don't work in the sun sign, like they're in their detriment or fall.
Yeah.
It doesn't know how to do its job as a sun sign. Libra moon, they don't like, not conflict. They keep their opinion to themselves most of the time.
They don't like conflict.
Yeah. They're usually quiet. They're like, okay.
Yeah. My nephew's a Libra sun and moon, and he's very much like just very observant. Does not say what he's thinking.
Hey, I see that a lot in like Libra's eyes. Like, what's going on in there?
I think they weigh out like that's obviously like the judgment. Like they weigh out like both sides of things.
Yeah, so they don't know how they feel.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Libra Venus, it's in its home, but I don't know anything about it. That's it rules. Venus rules Libra, or vice versa.
Yeah.
But Libra Mars is an interesting one because that's another sign, just like Cancer, that is doesn't know how to do its job properly in Mars. Again, Mars aggression, sex, and getting things done. And Libra's like, wait, I don't come at me. Like I don't want to give you one answer because I have like two. I have these opinions in my head, but I can't give you one. Just don't talk to me, or don't come to me for an answer. Like don't look at me. Like I don't want to in conflict. Like they throw their hands up. Like I don't know. Well, it's not me. I don't come.
I like to say like it's again not shitting on Libras, but like the Libra Mars is very like they like to throw stones and then hide their hands. So like if they want to get something done in that conflict that they need done, they don't do it. They find a way to have somebody else do it because they don't like the confrontation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's an air sign, and they're very, very intelligent. And I think it's even I saw a bunch of celebrities that had it. Apparently Libra, they have like the prettiest celebrities sign, where it's like, oh, if they're super pretty or dashing, they're probably a Libra.
Yeah.
And Libra Mars, that since they don't like conflict, they'd rather have someone else do it. So they'll like have information
to make it happen,
to get their aggression forward.
And they kind of like to instigate.
Yes, that's a good way to put it too. I was trying to be nicer than that. That's exactly
Aries.
that's exactly.
It's the Aries.
There you go.
But it's interesting too, because I mean, a lot of other signs could benefit from that if they were smart enough not to throw themselves into harm's way.
Yeah.
They're like, why don't you do it? They're like, hey, by the way, that guy looked at you weird. Like, who looked at me weird? Like, oh, I don't know.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Scorpio. I can't do that.
Scorpio sun, they're always the quiet type. They're like, they don't talk to you unless you talk to them. But they're always kind of scary looking. They always have that like weird, darker demeanor. But they're always cool people.
Says
We know
Scorpio moon.
Yeah, right. We know a Scorpio sun. Like she does not talk unless you talk to her.
I work with like 4 Scorpio suns, and they're all pretty quiet.
My sister's a Scorpio sun, and she is not quiet, but she has a lot of Capricorn.
Oh,
So like she's very like she does not stop talking.
Yeah.
She talks at you.
same. I talk a lot. I try really hard not to talk at people. I do try to sit there and listen.
You do listen.
Okay.
You're a great listener, Fred.
Yeah, and I heard in like YouTube that there a few people said it. A lot of their Scorpio videos have the most views because they're usually quiet, secretive, interesting, kind of alluring in some ways.
I think they get a bad rap too, so that's why so many people are like, why was this Scorpio like this to me? Because like we were saying, like the bad rap signs are like Scorpio and Gemini.
I feel like with Scorpios, I think the reason why they get a bad rep is because, at least like relationship wise, that's where I hear it the most. It's like their lack of communication and their like, they tend to like be a very, like if they're unevolved, they tend to be like a jealous sign, or like their toxicity comes through.
I'm just going to keep nodding my head because I know you're going to be right.
Yeah. And I think that's why people have bad experience with them in
They tend to be
relationships.
secretive too if they're not evolved.
They could be secretive. And
Scorpio, water sign, fixed sign, extremely obsessive,
obsessive.
secretive, jealous, controlling. Hold on. Controlling.
These come out more if you're not evolved, though.
Right. It can be all that. It can be, but you know, I'm very obsessive. There we go. Like, I can be controlling. I don't want to be that person, but everything in me is like wanting to be that. But like, that's not healthy and that's not cool. But I want to be that. I know, like, my emotions hit on that note.
I think your other placements save that, though. Like, yeah, your Scorpio's really like present, but I feel like the reason why you're more of an evolved Scorpio is because your other placements kind of like, you know.
I used to be a little envious that I didn't have more Scorpio in me in my chart, but I'm now, months later, studying all that, I'm so fucking grateful I don't. I'm so happy I'm fire, water. Yeah.
You're all fire and water.
Yeah, that's it. Just fire and water.
I think that it would be different if I wasn't like the like controlling, obsessive, whatever. It would be different if I wasn't who I am. Because like I know there's sometimes you're like, why don't you watch a TV show? And I'm like, because I don't want to. like you're very like you're just trying because I look bored or something, and you're like, hey, how about you do this? And I'm like, I don't want to. And like I'm like, thanks for the suggestion, but no.
I could give you the whole rap sheet on Scorpio moon because I've been studying that like every fucking week ever since I found out. It's like it's intense all the time. You feel sorrow intensely, you feel sadness intensely. You have all these really deep fucking emotions every day of your life. People know it, but you hide it. But at the same time, you're really, really comfortable in intense times, intense people.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends that are intense. They're like, they're just, you know, like angry or like shaky people. They're just ready to go. I'm like, I'm just okay with it. Or like when it, emotional times, I'm hella comfortable. And when people are emotional around me, I am so okay. People are like, oh, well, he's crying, she's crying, or I don't want to talk about my feelings. I'm like, let's please talk about our fucking feelings.
That's me. I love when people talk about feelings.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Please don't come to me with your feelings.
But there's like stuff that I've learned though, like even talking about how we went to the restaurant Outback and like reading people and doing this and like alluring people or like almost manifesting people into your lives. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know when I would go to family barbecue why I was so quiet or why this, because I'm so busy reading the room, I don't talk. I've already like figured out what's going on here, there, here in the kitchen, outside by the barbecue and the pool table. It's like I already know what's going on in this whole fucking party, and it makes me uncomfortable or sometimes good. But it's funny the time we went to the bar with your friend near LA, Gloria. The two quietest people at that table were the two Scorpio moons, because we were just watching and feeling and just like taking it in. Which I mean, we're fine, we're comfortable. It was a great time, but it was just interesting. I wish I would have warned them because they found out their chart then. Like, oh, the Scorpio moon. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, by the way, you know, if you need advice, like, you know, hit me up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Intensity.
Sorry. I hear it every time in my head. I couldn't keep it in. Anyways.
Scorpio Mercury. I've heard the quote of they are the surveillance camera of the zodiac. Because they watch, they remember, they see, they listen, and they feel what people don't feel in the room. So they can use that for good or bad. So they see the unseen and see this on the scene.
Yeah.
Venus, I already talked about it, makes your emotion glass bigger. You're sluttier. No offense, but like,
But in a good way.
yeah,
No slut
No slut shaming
no,
here.
no. Welcome to sluts.
More power to you.
No, but yeah, Scorpio. Oh, one thing I learned too is that Scorpio moons is that they know what you want to hear. And I thought, like, interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's
Because-
why it makes him like dangerous and like manipulative if they use it for the wrong reasons, basically.
Right, but like, there's even times where I had to change a bit, where it's just like, do I be more bro? What's going on here?
Terrible. Terrible.
Mutable.
Or like I like you change it up a bit, or like, you know, this I know what not to say at all times.
Are they a mutable sign?
Fixed?
Fixed. Okay.
Scorpio Venus, yeah. Scorpio Mars, they're like the always boiling mad type, and Mars is ruled by Aries and Scorpio, and Pluto. So it knows how to do its job in Mars, and
It's dangerous.
yeah, it's dangerous. So, and they're vindictive, and they're very vengeful.
Yeah.
And that was one thing I've always said growing up. Like, oh, I fucking love revenge. I love getting even.
Can't bother.
I love it. It's like I can't start tomorrow if I don't get my revenge today. And now as an adult, I've really let it go into. I haven't practiced that, but in my like my soul, I want it. I still need it, but like I don't do anything and just move on. But it still like takes a chunk out of me, takes a piece.
My revenge is to not give a shit. That's my revenge.
Oh, I wish.
It's so nice because I'm
wish.
just like, I just don't feel anything for whatever bad thing happened. I'm just like, I don't know. I just can't.
That's what makes me a little envious of air signs and even Aquarius, where it's just like, how can they not care? They just move on. I'm like, oh my God, that must be so blissful.
For me, I think it's the Aries, maybe. I don't know. But I just like
Aries don't hold grudges.
I just don't. I can't be bothered.
They don't put enough energy into it to
No.
care about it. They're like, eh.
Because I'm like, if I'm vengeful, I'm putting energy back into it, and I'm just like reliving it and reliving it and reliving it.
I should have ulcers by now from dwelling that.
You get the ulcers, I get the headaches. Perfect.
Great.
We're a team.
You'll take Tylenol, I'll take Pepto. I'm not sure if that
That's exactly
works.
what we're doing right now.
Seriously.
A Sagittarius? I can't do it. Have fun editing this one, Jenny.
Oh my god.
Sag, they're fun, easygoing, loving, doing what they want, but they're always wrong. They have no detail. They're just going with the flow, and it's fun. But usually people love Sagittarius in the room. They always want, like, hey, invite him. Is he coming? Because he's a Sag, or Aries, because they're usually Leo's already there. I think I said last time, I'm not sure if I said it on the podcast, but it's like the fire signs. Sagittarius is like, oh, I'm just gonna go, and the Aries is like, oh, where are we going? I'm down, and then Leo is like, fuck that, let's go here instead. That's usually how I've always seen the fire signs, but Sagittarius is cool. I have Sag Moon.
No, Sag Sun.
What's Sag Sun?
But you don't have a Sag Moon.
No, well, I'm just saying in general. I'm just going down the list.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah. Sag Moon, they keep really busy when they're stressed. And when they don't like to be stressed, they don't like heavy shit. They don't like emotions. They just like I'm just gonna do something else. Or I'm gonna buy shit. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna like reorganize. I do that a lot.
Yeah, you do. They're bailers. When shit gets when the tough gets when is it? What's it? I'm trying to think of the sign now. When shit gets rough, they get going or something like that.
Yeah, they don't.
They bail
Yeah.
a lot. Well, yeah, it's always when it gets too hard. They're like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
You do rearrange stuff a lot.
Sag Mercury, They have no detail. I'm a Sag Merc. We just talk. We just go with it. No detail whatsoever. But again, still a fun time. Sag Venus. Oh, wait,
that's
hold on.
mine.
There you go.
That's mine.
That's yours.
I like fire. Obviously. By the 2 fire signs in the room. That and what we learned that we also have, because our beliefs are so strong, like the Sag Venus, because we hold our beliefs so strong to ourselves that we need our partners to believe in those same things. Like we have to be on the same level. And if not, there's a lot of times like we get preachy a little bit. Like I'll like tell him like, you know, about like feminist things or tell him about that, and I'm like if you don't believe in this also, like we cannot work, because I hold it so dear to me. Like the couples with differing political views, like I cannot understand that. I need you to I need you to be on the same page as me with that kind of stuff. That's the Sag Venus. For whatever reason, they're like preachy about their, not even, it doesn't even have to be like religious or anything like that, just like,
actually that's something that Sag Mercury is, that they preach. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, that you do.
Yeah, and they usually start a story with a story.
Yes, you do. 100%.
Yeah.
But I also like fire. That's what I look for. Because mine's so stable that I'm like, I need a little fun. And the Gemini doesn't like to be bored, so.
The Gemini, and I feel like Capricorns too. Like, Capricorns are like, they do like excitement.
I need the stimulation and excitement, but it's when I'm ready for it. If I'm not in the mood for it, like, do not come at me with some crazy shit. Like, I don't want to hear it. I'm too, like, I need to be mentally prepped for it to deal with it.
I heard Sag Mars, they're kind of like nationalists. That
makes sense because of the preachy and the.
Yeah, like they're always like, go home team. Like if you're not on my team, go home type of thing. But I don't know too much. But it's the same thing with the belief system and like maybe politics. But I think my mom's a Sag Mars. But they're always restless too. They're always on the go. They're always pretty bored.
Yeah.
What do you know about Capricorns?
Headaches.
Headaches, yes. We have a lot of headaches. Yeah.
Was that it? Is that like...
That's the last one, Capricorns.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Caps. Oh, caps.
Cat Moon, go.
Yeah, caps in general just have detail. They're smart. They're usually like the boss, the manager, there's something. They're always on top of shit. Like if you need something planned, Cap. You need something like, and you need something packed, all the detail, Cap. Same thing with Geminis too.
Yeah.
The Mercury. Those were great communicators.
Oh, Mercury.
We're great communicators, and we're straightforward. Like,
very, very straightforward.
I cannot, like, there's a lot of times where, like, we'll hear a story from a friend or something, and I'm like, you don't want my advice, because I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do, and you don't want to do it, but I don't have the emotions tied to it, whatever you're dealing with, so it's easy for me to be like, drop that fucker, or something like that, like, because I don't have the emotion in it, and I'm going to give you the logical solution to it.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. You don't have the emotions tied to it.
Literally, like when we were in the car today and you were like venting to me, I wanted to give you advice, but I was like, nope. Because it's like my Cap was like trying to do that, but I was like, nope, you got to figure it out.
Yeah. And we're like, we want to solve people's problems a lot of times. Because I'm like, there's sometimes where I'm like, I wish you would, not you, but like people are like, I wish you would just ask me my advice. You're not going to like it because I'm going to give it to you straightforward.
I like it.
Yeah, I know you do. But like other people, I'm like, I wish you would just ask me because I have the perfect solution for you. But it's not going to be fun. Doing the right thing is not always fun, but it's going to be better. And I just can't not think of things logically. Like it always, like, it has to be the most logical plan. Like a lot of times Capricorns too, we work smarter, not harder. So like it's going to be like the fastest way for you to get to that scenario too. Like easiest.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Cap Venus, Mars, any of those?
Venus, we read a little bit about Cap Venus today. I can't really recall too much about it. Yeah.
I was not involved in this.
Yeah, or maybe it was last night. Who knows? It was saying money. They like people
Oh,
high
yes,
rolls.
yes.
like-
Capricorn Venuses always look for the you're right, we did talk about that. They look for the like a partner that's like that will stabilize
Stable.
them. They have status, they have wealth, that's what they're looking for.
So they're gold diggers.
I mean, not like yes but no. They look for somebody to stabilize them, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
It's all about that because that's Capricorns too always want the stability. We want like, and they're like Capricorns are very money driven or not money in per se. They're very like abundance driven because it's like the abundance to them could be the love or it could be things. But because everybody's like, oh, Capricorns love money. Yeah, we do. But it's also the other thing. It's rich, they love richness, no matter what that like richness entails, basically.
Yeah.
So the Capricorn Venus, they're looking for somebody with wealth and status to like raise them up in that level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Like Cap Mars knows how to get shit done. They're usually doing stuff for themselves, getting things forward, moving shit forward. They know how to pay their bills on time, how to get to work on time. They know how to be somewhere and get shit done or get what they want for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well,
We
I
ran
know
through the whole Zodiac.
we did, and I didn't think that was planned, but y'all are getting an extra long episode
Yes.
this time. But yeah, I don't know. I think your knowledge is
Evolving.
yeah, like you have so much more knowledge now about and it's random. Like he'll come up to me like, "Did you know this about them?" I'm like, "No, I did not know that." Like,
It's
holy
funny.
crap.
I always ask for their moon sign, or like,
Yes,
she's like, "Oh, do you know Jennifer Lopez is this?" I'm like, "Wait, that's their moon sign?" She was like, "No, that's their sun."
I tell him all the time, nobody goes by moon sign
Yeah,
first.
I only go by moon sign. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's like, no, I don't care about that. Like, who are they?
Yeah.
Like, who are they not telling us who they are?
yeah,
Moon is very important. For sure.
definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, well,
Cool.
I'm glad you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to come on today because
I
we
know.
I was so busy.
know you
Had
were
all
not.
these things planned.
We stole you away.
I squeezed you guys into my busy schedule.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, everybody's gonna be so happy because
Yeah.
they really liked your episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. I'm glad you guys like me.
Yeah. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for all your knowledge, and we're so happy to have you on again.
Thank you.
And I'm sure it's not going to be the last time. So, yeah, I guess we'll run our socials.
Sure. Please follow us on Instagram. It's One Thing Queer, and my personal Instagram is SpexRayX.
And my personal Instagram is at Jenny Lynn Bouton. And then we also have a TikTok. Our TikTok is at One Thing Queer Podcast. And if you would like to email us with any questions or would like to share your queer story or just need advice in general, you could email us at onethingqueer@gmail.com.
Yeah. You want to give your Instagram or no?
No, don't follow me.
Okay. All right then.
No Instagram.
No Instagram. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
That was very fun.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yay,
was
thank
fun.
you. I'm gonna I didn't know I could push them at the same time.
I didn't know that either.
There we go.
Learned something new. But yeah, I guess this is our episode for this week. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Music by Jacody Lamone. Produced by Kelsey Wren and Jenny Baton. Edited by Jenny Baton.